Men fixate a lot on someone's past because they feel that another man can permanently taint a woman. You don't have that power. You meet somebody that makes sense. Why miss out on potential love of your life just because some guy dated her and it didn't work out?
Hell no!
Hey, what's up everybody? It's your girl Darling, and welcome back to my channel where we don't sugarcoat, we don't shade, we just say what needs to be said, okay? So let's talk about Brittany Renner, aka the queen of contradictions. This woman is like Netflix. Every month she has a brand new storyline, but the plot never makes sense. So recently she said that her past shouldn't matter to a man. And I'm like, really? That's cute, but here is the thing. The past is not like an old phone that you change for a new one. The past is like bad credit. It follows you everywhere you go, and everybody checks your report before they invest in you. So let's dig into Brittany Renner's contradictions and prove once and for all that your past doesn't just disappear. And in her case, it just makes her brand straight up toxic. But before we get started, I just want to say thank you for checking out the video. Also, thank you to all my subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe, click the like button, and join the family. Now, let's get into the video.
Men fixate a lot on someone's past because they feel that another man can permanently taint a woman. You don't have that power.
You don't think
a man cannot permanently
damaged,
taint me?
But a lot of women are they've had relationships that have completely changed their personalities, the way they trust a man, the way they view men in general. I feel like you can be in a messed up relationship that can really mess you up.
But I feel like when it comes to past and a man focusing on what happened 5 years ago or what man you slept with or what guy you were with, that is thinking when this man stuck his penis in her, she no longer has value. We're the whores, but who are we all fucking? But the truth of the matter is, it's like, if you meet somebody that makes sense, whether they have a kid, whether they've been with someone publicly, why miss out on potential love of your life just because some guy dated her and it didn't work out?
What a stupid question that is. What a stupid question.
Brittany Renner is a certified 3 or 4 that her past will always follow her no matter where she goes or what religion she joins. She bragged about sleeping with rappers, NBA players, and industry dudes left and right with no shame at all.
I've had sex with 35 guys. Okay?
Whew. Oh, Lord.
There was a video that I did in my car where I was talking about how I had sex with, was it 3 men in a day?
Yes.
And then I ended up getting a yeast infection.
Yes.
I came out pretty unscathed for just a yeast infection.
Right.
Considering what I could have gotten.
I mean, you just can't make this up.
At one point, she said that she was ashamed, disgusted, and embarrassed by her past. But that didn't last long, of course. She went back to her old ways. And it shows that she's aware of all of her bad choices. But she's so proud that she always goes back to say that her past doesn't matter when she herself is disgusted with her own degrading behavior.
I hate how I allowed myself to just be like used up by men. And that came from a lack of self-worth. I did not understand my value that I was born with. I didn't. And I gave, again, people look at sex differently, but sex is spiritual unification. At the end, I don't care how you spin it. It's spiritual.
For women.
Okay,
Yeah, for women.
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, for women. It's spiritual unification. And people that I shared my body with, when I think about my list, it's repulsive because they didn't deserve it. But that was an outcome of me discounting my worth. And it's disgusting. I hate even having that spiritual tie in any type of way. But yeah, I would absolutely change sexually how I move around.
It was all bullshit.
This woman is what you call a walking contradiction. One day she is ashamed of her past, and one day she said her past doesn't matter.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
And then when it comes to being a mother, she's the same, toxic and out of control. Someone asked her, what about your son? One day he's going to see all of these, all of your videos, all over the place. And she straight up said that she didn't care, that that's her life. He shouldn't care about what I do. I'm going to live my life. Yes, that's what she said.
Have you thought about when your son is of age and he can hear some of the things that you said about some of the things that you've done in your past? Have you thought about how that's gonna impact him?
Of course I've thought about it. But as much as I love my son, I love myself. I can't saturate myself for my child. I have to still be true to myself, because outside of being his mother, I'm Brittany Renner. I was Brittany Renner before he got here, and I'm gonna be Brittany Renner no matter what. My son could grow up and, oh, my mom, all these terrible things, she's the worst person ever. So
this woman is all over the place, like always. Every interview, she has a new message. With Shannon Sharp, she says she doesn't care about what her son thinks of her. But in another interview with the Shade Room, she says she broke up with pjwashington because she didn't want her son growing up in a toxic environment, because according to her, pjwashington was cheating, allegedly. So let me get this straight. You care about the environment when it's his dad doing crazy stuff, but not when it's you acting like a fool on camera? Make it make sense. She's a hypocrite and a really bad example for society. A bitter woman who refuses to change and take accountability for her bad choices.
The funniest thing about the whole Brittany Renner situation where she's beefing with her baby daddy is that I would be willing to bet that throughout the course of her career, if you can call it that, there was probably a many men who were spending money on her that they could have been spending on their children, and that sort of behavior was never an issue with her until she found herself the baby mama. Now all of a sudden everybody needs to have their priorities in check. Now all of a sudden there's an issue with men spending money on hoes. Like, girl, please. You're sitting out here screaming at the top of your lungs that he spent $170,000 on his hoe, but there's only $11,000 in y'all's son's bank account. Meanwhile, that hoe is his wife that he's married to and has multiple children with, and the son who's only got $11,000 is 4. Not to mention the fact that word on the curb is he also allegedly pays $2,500 a month in child support. So $11,000 in a bank account, $2,500 a month in child support, and that's still not enough for a 4-year-old? Like, no, sis. I think what you meant to say was that it's not enough for you, because you cannot convince me you're not dipping into those funds. And then you're sitting out here trying to make this big spectacle about your son crying and trying to make it seem like your son's only crying because he has to go with his father, but then you also simultaneously made 0 attempts to soothe your son. And to be completely honest, I'm not making no accusations, this is just my opinion, but it kind of looked to me like Brittany and her mama were in that house riling that baby up before he even got there. Because believe it or not, babies and kids can tell when they're in like a tense, high stress situation. And so if you and your mama were already in the house getting hype and talking shit because you knew he was over there, I wouldn't be surprised if the baby started to cry. And a mother or a father or just a loved one in general who was genuinely concerned about the child being overwhelmed and worked up would have attempted to soothe said child. But you see, in my opinion, it didn't seem as though there was a genuine concern for the child being upset. There seemed to be a genuine concern in getting a video that you could post online to demonize this man, because what you're really upset about is the fact that he's providing his wife with the lifestyle that you thought you were going to get by having his baby.
You know, I don't really like to put people down and just criticize people, but it bothers me, her behavior, because she's a influencer. She's a woman that is all over the place, and she's an example for a young woman or society in general. People are just going to follow her reckless behavior and think that it's okay, you know? She's just a toxic woman, a bitter woman who is now mad because the father of her son is happy in a new relationship, living his best life. Plus, let's talk about her little religious era. One day she was cover up, Muslim attire, marry Kevin Gates, talking about being modest. And you know, I thought, okay, maybe she's finally turning a corner, finally changing. And then boom, relationship crashes, hijab disappear, and she's right back to the streets like never before. She treated Islam like it was a seasonal fashion trend. Ramadan vibes in the spring, hot girl summer by July. Like, come on now, respect this religion.
I said what I said, and always. I'm not changing on it, okay?
And you already know people got a lot to say when it comes to her saying that a man cannot tame her and that her past doesn't matter. This woman right here said this is what lack of accountability look like. Yes. Unfortunately, it proved that she will never change and she doesn't look to herself, and I'm pretty sure she got other people around her enabling that behavior. Okay, this one said your own actions have tainted you. Actually, yes. And everybody can see it, but for some reason, I think that she feels proud. She had a lot of people enabling her behavior, so she doesn't care. She doesn't care what millions of people think of her, that she is totally out of control. She herself thinks that she is doing good. Okay, this one said, your sexual history can taint people's perception of you. That goes for men and women. Actions have consequences. That's all it boils it down to. No point to try and argue your points across. You just have to find someone who doesn't view your past history as a problem. Her actions, millions of people, like majority of people everywhere I go, not every comments, TikTok, every social media, have the same point, have the same view of her. She's out of control. She's a hoe that doesn't care about her consequences at all. So I don't know who she's going to find that is going to think that what she does is okay. Okay, this one said, if you had a train ran on you by 3+ men, yes, you are tainted. Damn. Oh my God. That was a good one. Yeah. Okay, last one. This one said, you've been bamboozled out of your cat over 30 times. Remember, she said that she has slept with 35 guys, which I don't believe. I think it's way more than that. But she continued talking that people use her or whatever. Like, then 30 times, over 30 times, people trick you. Yeah, that shows that she doesn't take accountability for absolutely nothing. It's the man's fault. All those 35 guys or more is their fault. They trick her, like all of them. Here is the truth. Past does matter. Reputation matters. Choices matter. And Brittany Renner is a poster child of why you can't just wave a magic wand and say, don't judge me. Nah, people are going to judge whether you like it or not. At the end of the day, Brittany Renner is proof that your past is not just the past. It's your brand. It's your legacy. And no matter how much you try to repackage it, the receipts are always there.
I said what I said.
What do you think? Do you think someone's past actually matters when it comes to relationships and family? Or is the past done and gone, no matter how messy it was, and nobody should judge it? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to subscribe, like. I really appreciate you for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye!